The night was quiet in Miami, but inside the luxury penthouse, the tension felt heavier than the humid air outside. Cardi paced back and forth across the marble floor, her heels clicking sharply with every step. She had tried to ignore the messages all day, tried to focus on work, tried to laugh with her friends, tried to act like nothing bothered her. But the phone on the table kept lighting up, again and again and again. Same name. Stef? She stopped walking and stared at the screen, her chest rising and falling faster. She already knew what the message said without opening it. "Please, can we talk?" She sighed, rubbing her face. "I can't do this again," she whispered to herself. Her best friend sitting on the couch looked up. "You still not answering him?" Cardi shook her head. "No, because every time I answer, I start feeling things again, and I don't want to feel nothing." But just as she said that, the phone rang. Not a text, a call. She froze. Her friend leaned forward. "You gonna pick up?" Cardi hesitated, then grabbed the phone. Her hand was shaking. She answered without speaking. For a few seconds, there was only silence. Then his voice came through. Low, tired, emotional. "Cardi, please don't hang up." Her eyes closed instantly. That voice, that same voice that once made her laugh, made her smile, made her feel safe, now made her heart hurt. "What you want, Steph?" she said, trying to sound cold. I just need to see you, one time. That's all I'm asking." "No." The answer came fast, almost automatic. "I can't do this again. We done. You hear me? We done." There was a long pause on the other end. Then she heard something she didn't expect. His voice cracked. "I know I messed up. I know. But I can't stop thinking about you. I can't sleep. I can't focus. I keep replaying everything in my head. Every fight, every laugh, every time you looked at me like I was the only person in the room." Cardi swallowed hard. Her eyes started to water, but she turned away so her friend wouldn't see. "You should have thought about that before," she said quietly. "I did. Too late," he replied. Silence again. Then he said something that made her heart drop. "I'm outside." Her head snapped up. "What?" "I'm downstairs. I've been here for an hour. I didn't know if you'd answer." Her friend jumped up. "He what?" Cardi walked to the window slowly, her legs feeling weak. She looked down. Black SUV parked right in front, and him leaning against the car, waiting. Her breathing got heavier. "You crazy," she whispered into the phone. "Yeah," he said. "Crazy about you." She covered her mouth, trying not to cry. "I just want to talk, Cardi, face to face. If after that you still say it's over, I'll leave you alone, I swear." Her friend whispered, "Don't go down there." But Cardi was already grabbing her jacket. "I'm not promising nothing," she said into the phone. "I know. I'm not getting back together. I know. I'm just talking. I know. Thank you." She hung up. The elevator ride felt longer than ever. Her heart was pounding so loud she thought she might faint. When the doors opened, she saw him immediately. He looked tired. No smile. No jokes. Just nervous. He stepped forward slowly. "You came." She crossed her arms, trying to look tough. "Say what you gotta say." For a moment, he couldn't speak. Then he took a deep breath. "I miss you." Her eyes flickered, but she stayed quiet. "I miss your voice. I miss your laugh. I miss how you yell at me for stupid stuff. I miss how you look at me like you see right through me." Her lips started trembling. "I messed up, Cardi. I know I did. I was stupid. I was selfish. And I lost the best thing that ever happened to me." She looked down, trying to hold it in, but when he stepped closer and said, "I don't care about pride no more. I just want us back. I'm begging you." That was it. Her eyes filled instantly. She shook her head. "Why you doing this to me? Why now?" "Because I can't move on," he said softly. "I tried. I can't." A tear rolled down her cheek. She wiped it fast, but more came. "I hate this," she whispered. "I hate that you still make me cry." He reached out, then stopped himself. "I won't touch you unless you want me to." That made her cry harder. "You supposed to let me go. That's what you supposed to do," she said through tears. "I tried," he replied. "I couldn't." She covered her face, shoulders shaking. All the anger, all the hurt, all the memories, everything came out at once. "I loved you, you know that? I really loved you, and you broke my heart." His eyes filled too. "I know, and I hate myself for it." She looked at him, tears running down nonstop. For a long moment, neither of them spoke, just standing there, both hurting. Finally, she whispered, "I don't know if we can fix this." He nodded slowly. "I don't know either, but I want to try, if you let me." She stared at him, crying, breathing hard, torn between the past and the present. And for the first time since everything fell apart, she didn't walk away. The night stayed quiet, but between them, everything was still unfinished. The rain fell hard against the windows of the luxury penthouse, each drop tapping the glass like a restless heartbeat. Inside, the lights were dim, the room quiet except for the faint sound of music playing from a speaker in the corner. Cardi B sat on the couch, her phone in her hand, staring at the screen without blinking. Her eyes were red. Not from makeup, not from exhaustion, from crying. For weeks, her life had felt like a storm she couldn't escape. Headlines, rumors, arguments, late-night phone calls that ended in silence. She had tried to stay strong, tried to laugh it off like she always did, but tonight felt different. Her phone buzzed again. She looked down slowly. Stef calling. Her heart jumped so hard it almost hurt. She let it ring once, twice, 3 times. Then she answered. Hello? Her voice was barely above a whisper. On the other side, there was a long pause before he spoke. Cardi, please don't hang up. Her eyes closed instantly. That voice, that tone, she knew something was coming. I'm not hanging up, she said, trying to sound calm. What you want, Stef? Another pause, longer this time. I need to see you. Tonight. Please. She shook her head, even though he couldn't see her. No, we talked already. There's nothing else to say. Yes, there is, he said quickly, his voice breaking. There's a lot I didn't say, and I can't keep it inside anymore. Her chest tightened. She hated when he sounded like that. Hated it because it made her care. 5 minutes, she said finally. You got 5 minutes, that's it. 20 minutes later, the elevator doors opened on the top floor. Stef stepped out slowly, holding his breath like he was walking into something dangerous. He hadn't slept much, hadn't eaten, hadn't stopped thinking about her. The door to the penthouse was already unlocked. He knocked anyway. When she opened it, the air between them felt heavy. Cardi stood there in an oversized hoodie, no heels, no glam, no camera-ready smile. Just her, raw, tired, hurt. They looked at each other for a long time without speaking. You look different, he said quietly. She crossed her arms. Say what you came to say. He walked inside slowly, like he wasn't sure he was allowed to. I messed up, he said. She let out a short laugh. That's what you came here for? You could text that. No, he said, shaking his head. Not like this. Not what I need to say. She didn't sit, didn't move, just stared at him. He took a deep breath. I thought I was strong enough to walk away. I thought we were too complicated, too messy, too public. But the truth is, his voice cracked. I can't do this without you. Her eyes flickered, but she stayed silent. I tried to move on, he continued. Tried to act like I didn't care, like it was nothing, but every time my phone buzzed, I hoped it was you. Every time I saw something funny, I wanted to send it to you. Every time I heard your voice on the radio, it felt like somebody punched me in the chest. Her lips trembled. She turned away quickly. Stop, she whispered. I can't stop, he said, stepping closer. Not this time. I need you to hear this. She shook her head harder now. I said, stop, Stef. I love you. Silence. The words hung in the air like thunder before a storm. Her shoulders froze. Her back was still turned to him, but he could see her hands shaking. I never stopped loving you, he said softly. Not one day. Not 1 second. I was just too stubborn to admit it. She covered her face with her hands. You don't get to say that now, she whispered. You don't get to come back after everything and say that like it fixes stuff. I know it doesn't fix it, he said, but I had to say it, because if I don't, I lose you forever. He stepped closer. Cardi, please, let's try again, one more time. No drama, no pride, just us. She turned around slowly. Her eyes were full of tears now, shining under the soft light. You think it's that easy? She said, her voice shaking. You think I ain't cry about you? You think I ain't sit here at night looking at my phone, waiting for you to call? He swallowed hard. I know you did. You don't know nothing, she snapped, her voice breaking. You don't know how hard it is when the whole world watching you fall apart. Tears started rolling down her cheeks. Real tears. Not the dramatic kind. Not the ones for cameras. The kind you can't stop even if you try. I tried to be strong, she said, crying now. I tried to act like I ain't care. But I did. I cared too much. He stepped closer but slowly, giving her time to stop him. She didn't. I hate you, she whispered through tears. I know, he said softly. I hate that I still love you. That was it. The moment broke. She burst into tears, covering her face as her shoulders shook. He reached out carefully and pulled her into his arms. For a second, she resisted. Then she collapsed against him, crying into his chest. I'm tired, she said between sobs. I'm tired of fighting, tired of pretending, tired of missing you. He held her tighter. Then don't fight anymore, he whispered. Come back to me. She looked up at him, tears still falling. You better not hurt me again. I won't, he said. I swear. You said that before. I know, but this time I mean it. She stared at him for a long time, searching his face like she was trying to see the truth inside his eyes. The rain outside got louder. Finally, she nodded. Just a little. Just a little. He exhaled like he had been holding his breath for weeks. You sure? He asked. She wiped her tears, sniffed, and gave a small, shaky smile. I ain't safe forever, but we can try again. He laughed softly, almost in disbelief. That's all I need. She hit his arm lightly. Don't mess this up. Yes, ma'am. She leaned into him again, resting her head on his shoulder, her eyes still wet but calmer now. Outside, the storm kept falling, but inside the penthouse, for the first time in a long time, everything felt quiet.